Hello, Eric, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically just talk about this copyright issue that this tech zombie is forging. And so, where this all starts is that quite a few months ago, you had visited a friend, and basically his eyes were bugging out because he came across this ericdollard.com website, and it had a bunch of crazy claims and all kinds of stuff that Tech Zombie was saying on your behalf without your knowledge, and it's all kinds of stuff that could really kind of get you in trouble with the kind of work that you do.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and so that was the first time that you ever heard of Tech Zombie was from your friend.
Yeah, that's he was quite upset about it, and I became quite upset about it also.
Right. Okay, and so basically when you found out that this Tech Zombie Ray Savant guy had registered your domain name, is posting all this stuff in your name, so you wound up getting a hold of him, and then he came out to meet you and try to get buddy with you, and he wanted to film some stuff, and he said he was supporting you, and you made it very clear to him that he can't be making claims on your behalf on a website with your name on it and stuff.
That's correct.
Okay. And so after that, he made it very clear that he understood. He has to take down the claims. He has to stop misrepresenting you because it can get you in trouble. And then the second time around, it sounds like he did it again, and one of your friends or other business associates basically informed you he was doing the same thing all over again, making all kinds of claims and stuff. And at that time, they kind of encouraged you that it might be a good idea to distance yourself from Ray, otherwise he's going to wind up causing trouble for you?
It was a little more intent than that, in that they said I better cease right away having any further relations with him. In other words, get him out of my life. Okay,
so they were very firm with it. It wasn't just a subtle suggestion.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't just, well, it didn't look good. It was more like a watch out. You better. I forget the exact terms that were used, but, just completely separate yourself from this guy.
Right. Okay, and so basically to make a long story short, here's Ray Savant, who is a tech zombie, who was basically forced upon you, or he kind of, barged his way in. You didn't want anything to do with him, and some people around you were, saying, oh, he's okay, and this and that. And so basically, this Aether Force thing pops up, and, you didn't really know what that was about, and, it was misrepresenting you and stuff. And then, so here we are, I don't know how many months later, we've only met about maybe 2 months ago, maybe 9 weeks ago or something like that, the first time.
Yeah, it's probably about 3 months now, a little less.
Okay, yeah, I think it's maybe 10 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
And so here we are, X amount of months later, after, this stuff was going on with Ray misrepresenting you, that suddenly here's all these bogus allegations that I'm brainwashing you and I'm trying to get you addicted to drugs. And, right now I'm being attacked for taking down tech zombie sites, etherforce.com and keychest.com, and which was selling one of your books, The Lone Pine Writings, for $50, which he's trying to make it look like he's always been giving it away for free. He's trying to cover up his tracks, but really he was selling it for $50. And so anyway, here comes The Lone Pine Writings, okay? And I actually only learned about the name Lone Pine Writings as a book, I don't know, that was maybe close to a month ago, maybe about 3.5 weeks ago, right after the conference was over. And so basically, The Lone Pine Writings was developed from you, at a time when you were destitute, you had a sabotaged car, you're recovering from all the destruction at the Lander site, the sabotage and all that kind of stuff. And so from that point, you were basically putting in, full time, right?
8 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And how long did that go on?
Well, with the breaks and all that taken into consideration, it was pretty steady, a year and a half. It could be continued. You could say it was 1.5 years at that rate.
Okay.
8 hours a day, 7 days a week, 1.5 years of effort went into 3 or 4 sequences of writings that I put out on the energetic forum.
Okay. And so, that many hours in a year and a half, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week is about, that's getting close to like 5,000 hours. Okay, and, as an electrical engineer, what is your time worth?
Normally $100 an hour, but, for my friends or, situations where it just can't be justified, $30 an hour. So in this case, being that I wrote the thing in the front seat of my car and all that, and the overhead was low, we'll give it a nominal $30 an hour value.
Okay, so $30 an hour for 5,000 hours of your life that you put into those writings comes out to be about $150,000 worth of your time as a professional electrical engineer.
Correct.
And that's the lowball estimate.
Yeah, I mean, to do analysis of something is normally $100 an hour, paper analysis.
Okay. And so the series of writings that were put on Energetic Forum, basically in the seat of your car out in the middle of the desert, here you are writing, putting, that much time into these writings, and so you would like mail it off to like, John Polakowski or David Webster, and they'd wind up typing it in to the forum under your username, T-Rex, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And so all those posts and everything that the Lone Pine Writings book is basically composed of are an Energetic Forum, which is a website that I'm an administrator of. And at Energetic Forum, all those posts are still there, absolutely, completely free to this day, and have been since you first started posting them.
Right. There's a wealth of material there.
Okay.
Enough for 3 months, probably 3 more books.
Right. Okay. Yeah, probably more than that from what I've seen. but for Ray Savant Techzombie to even try to make this claim that I'm suppressing your work is completely ludicrous, because the only place on the internet where your stuff was actually personally posted on your behalf is Energetic Forum, which is there for free for the world on my website. So the entire claim has no substance whatsoever that I'm suppressing your work.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, and so, and that's been the case for the last several years, okay? And so basically, I guess, where the book came about, you said that you and David, basically were starting to talk about compiling those posts, or at least a certain series of posts? Right,
the originating series that defined the basic terms of electricity.
Uh-huh.
So
okay.
That's like about 1/3 of the total work effort of 1.5 years was that portion of it, approximately.
Okay, and so the goal was to put those into the book in order to sell it so that you guys can earn some money, and then you'd be able to split the money. You'd be able to have some money. You obviously need car parts and food and that kind of stuff. And David Webster would be able to have some money to experiment with, buy parts and get more involved, be able to get more involved with doing this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, that was my plan.
Okay, and then because of Energetic Forum, when you're in there, obviously there's, different people, a small percentage of people are going to be building and, doing stuff and really, seeming to understand your material and that kind of thing. And so basically, through all the support and everything you're getting through the forum, that through the donation links that like David Webster set up and everything, you started to receive some donations, and you said that with the donations coming in, you seemed to basically be okay, so you wanted David to have all the money from the book.
That's correct.
Okay. And so now, with that being the case, I found, it wasn't until after the conference that, I'm looking around at these sites because, I had been attacked in one email, and so I started looking more into this etherforce.com because I never really paid much attention to it. I mean, I promoted it through the Indiegogo campaign and this other stuff, and, I know that it's a website that was supposed to be supporting your work, so I always supported it. But when I looked in there and I saw this Lone Pine Writings book, that was being advertised for $50, I was actually going to buy a copy for myself. And then when I brought it up to you, you seemed kind of surprised that Techzombie was selling your book.
Yeah, it wasn't really. I wasn't made aware of anything that was going on. That's what concerned me. Okay,
and so he was advertising it on etherforce.com, and he was making it available through his website keychest.com, which he's basically trying to cover his tracks, making it look like that's not his website. Because he's trying to hide some very damaging material, and if anybody reads my post under the username Aaron, post number 161 in energeticforum.com and the Ray Savant Techzombie thread, they can see exactly the facts about what was on the site and what he was trying to hide, plus another link, absolutely proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that techzombie432@gmail.com is the owner of keychest.com. Okay, so
yeah,
anyway.
I wouldn't know any of these things living in the bushes, so this is kind of like
right.
news to me.
Right. And so, yeah, you don't even have a computer or anything.
No, I don't want any of that.
And so, so basically, when we found this out that Techzombie was selling this book and everything, and what you did was basically call David Webster to find out what was going on, and what was that all about?
It was kind of indeterminate. So first I heard that the money was being going to pay for some labor that was avowed to be volunteer. So I was confused on that, and I go, why aren't you getting any money? And then the answer was indeterminate, and then to make the situation even more indeterminate, then later I was told that David Webster was putting the money into EPD Laboratories, but that was against my wishes. I wanted him to have the money to continue doing a series of experiments he was doing, which was being advertised, or not advertised, but how would I say it, put out to the public for their viewing. And then there's another element in indeterminacy, is that Ray is selling the book and getting the money and putting it in the EPD Laboratories, but I don't. So I have a trivalent situation of which I have no factual knowledge about.
Okay. Now you did mention the lab.
Well, that's all a different situation. I really don't want to get into that. This has already caused enough distress in my organization that let's stick with what we're really talking about. Okay.
And so when you found out Ray was selling it, and that he would, you weren't getting a dime and Webster wasn't getting it, so this is just an example of how your wishes, again, are disrespected. They're doing what they want without any regard for what you, Eric Dollard, wants. And so basically when you found that out, that Techzombie, who you don't even want to be associated with, was selling your book on his Aether, through his Etherforce and keychest.com site, you basically requested that I try to get that removed from there on your behalf.
Well, yeah, and then because that's my associates and friends are really pushing for this, and it's the right thing to do. I can't have my organization being bandied about in public without my control and my name and my work, and so basically I requested you to with your knowledge and ability to help me in my separation of this guy from my work and effort and life.
Okay. And which brings to the point, because some people who are, buying these concocted lies that I'm trying to suppress your work are wondering, well, why are you submitting in Eric Dollard's name? And, it's already been stated, you don't have a computer, you don't want one, and that's the whole point of these Lone Pine Writings Beyond Energetic Forum, is that you would write it up in your car, and then you would actually put it into the U.S. Postal Service mail. Somebody would get, Polakowski or Webster would get it, and they would type it in for you, right?
That's correct.
So obviously you don't even know the first thing about how to go about submitting a takedown request to who's, hosting Ray's websites. You don't know anything about that, and so that's why you're asking me to do it and give me permission to do it on your behalf.
Yeah, I need somebody to help me with this, and you offered to do it. Now that's why you're under attack.
Right. Okay, so for anybody that's hearing this that doesn't know what this takedown thing is about, it's called a DMCA takedown notice, which is a Digital Millennium Copyright Act takedown notice. It is a legal document that you can give to any server or any host for a website that is publishing or using copyrighted material without the copyright holder's consent. You, Eric Dollard, are the copyright owner, exclusive copyright owner of that material, and Techzombie is using it without your consent. You asked me to get it removed, so I sent the legal document to HostGator.com. I think I sent like 3 of them for 3 different things. One was Lone Pine Writings, and was that the main thing that you wanted taken down?
Well, I was more concerned about the name of like my organization and other things that can't be associated with anything like that. And then, of course, the book's part of that, because right now, through you, I mean, there's 2 or 3 books that are coming together that are getting ready to come out, and I want to put everything in one unitized form with somebody that's physically accessible that I can trust, and that's yourself.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. You know, with this takedown request, I sent I think 3 takedown requests on your behalf, you know, with your name and, you know, giving your phone number and all that so anybody can verify that you really are the one requesting that stuff to be taken down. And so, you know, one was the Lone Pine writings. Some of the other stuff was some other documents which, you know, are already in the public domain. Basically, they're on, you know, Gestalt Reality, some of these other sites. They're on Energetic Forum, you know, like these older generalized wave papers from Borderlands and all that. But even with that being the case, you're still, you know, they're not really public domain. You're the copyright owner, and you're giving certain people permission to post it. And because you don't want Ray to be associated with anything you're doing, basically I requested all your photos, any image or likeness of you, and your name and all that kind of stuff be removed from the website. And so I did that. Now, okay, and so what Ray is doing with that is see, he never responded to the requests from the server. They give like 48 hours or something for the website owner to respond, and if they don't respond, then they take down the material in question, which is what they did. And then immediately what Ray did was he basically shut down his entire website, making it look like I got this whole team of lawyers that are shutting down the site and suppressing your work. But Ray just got caught in a lie, because if I had lawyers shutting down the entire site, he publicly posted those DMCA takedown notices online, which shows he actually proves my case that I only requested that your copyrighted information gets taken down, and I had nothing to do with his whole website being taken down. And again, if anybody wants to see why his whole website was taken down, my post, number 161, in the Ray Savant thread at Energetic Forum, that will tell you everything you need to know about why Ray Savant Techzombie took his own website down and blamed it on me. I only requested that Eric Dollard's copyrighted material get removed and my photographs get removed, which are taken out of a copyrighted interview that he does not have permission to use. Okay, and so this is basically where we're at right now, and, you know, he acts like, you know, he's supporting you, but he's misleading people at the same time.
Well, let's make it real clear. This guy is not supporting me. I mean, I have defamatory material going out, you know, broadcast over the Internet. Associates and officials that I have to do business with are getting defamatory emails and misleading telephone calls. And Ray Savant is on a campaign to completely destroy Eric Dollard's work and grab it up for himself, is what I can determine. And from what you just described, it would indicate to me that there's a plan here that you're kind of trying to be manipulated into. And these things are happening more, rather than reaction, they're happening by deliberation, and that's what makes me very nervous.
Right.
We have a serious problem here.
Right, and, you know, so he's, you know, putting out this video, you know, making it look like the interview where you basically gave your opinion about Ray was, you know, because I had you brainwashed and all this kind of crap, and that, you know, and if he even believed half his own BS about me manipulating you, I would think that any rational person would see that the video would only be attacking me. Because if you were being manipulated, then he would want to help you, but instead, not only does he attack me, he makes you look like some, you know, crazed lunatic drug addict or something like that. I mean, it's not congruent.
Well, like I say, I'm starting to get the feeling that this whole thing was premeditated, and by simple law of inversion, which is even the smallest minded person can understand, is, you know, when you multiply something by -1, it becomes the opposite. What he's basically accusing you of is no more than a mirror image of what he's trying to affect.
And I've seen that over and over in his posts, where everything he denounces me about is actually what he himself is doing, and he's doing it by hype and claims with his mouth, but what I'm doing is actually showing documented evidence with actual posts and web documentation that he can't erase, to show that I'm the one that's actually telling the truth.
Well, as
Okay.
say, the physical damage has already been done here. Is that a large, very large quantity of critical material, valued between $25,000 and $50,000 on the surplus market, was to be donated to my operation and some of the stuff that I'm undertaking here. And because all this got mucked up, that donation has been withdrawn, and that really just has an incredible impact on my ability to continue to operate.
Right. Yeah, no, it's completely unfortunate. I mean, when you were up here, I connected with you with one of my friends, and you spent quite a few hours going through his website or warehouses. It's probably maybe a couple thousand pounds of equipment worth maybe, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars or something. And, it's still there for you, and obviously, I'm supporting the lab, and that's why I hooked you up with that stuff. But, it's not safe to take it down when these people are, like Ray Savant is doing this kind of stuff.
No, it's really screwed everything up, and it's caused, is making me not feel too good.
Right.
And then ultimately, what this does is it makes me want to go back into hiding and no longer give anything out to the public at all.
Right.
So what's happening is it's the way it happens in every cycle. How all this has happened before. This is round 9. Leaving out the little ones is you bring me in. You get me involved with something, and then you get me all agitated and frustrated, and because it's already hard enough for me to do what I got to do, and then hope I run off, and then you launch a campaign, a defamatory campaign, and you keep my stuff. And it seems to be this whole thing is all trying to unfold again.
Right. Well, but what Techzombie doesn't understand is he's actually serving a purpose in all of this, on your behalf and on my behalf, which is he is basically acting as a public testimony to the facts about what you and I are saying and to your, past experience and present experience with somebody who's trying to dominate and control everything you're doing. And basically, if he can't control and dominate you and your work, then he's just going to destroy it. And
exactly. That's the fundamental formula that repeats itself over and over again. It's an intrinsic function of this society.
Right. Yeah. If he can't have it all, then nobody can.
Exactly. If you don't understand it, destroy it. If you can't control it, kill it. Right.
And so, even with the Lone Pine writings, that's supposed to be a fundraiser for you, and he's got some of these people convinced that in order to save Eric Dollard, they got to give the Lone Pine writings book out for free.
Well, but that's not what I intended, and it is for free on the energetic forum if you want to, go through the work of dealing with individual pages. But the concept of the Lone Pine writings was to be, like a financial, sustainment type of situation, because I'm not really, very wealthy person. Right now, I got a lot of expenses trying to keep any type of operation going here.
Right. And so, with him trying to pull this campaign and act like, I'm trying to suppress it, so let's get it out for free, what he's effectively doing is trying to sabotage any effort to take Lone Pine writings and make it into a book that put it out as a fundraiser that's actually going to raise money. And that's what he's doing, is sabotaging that, because since he can't sell it and you never saw a dime of that money, then now suddenly I'm suppressing it, and he's giving it away for free, making it look like he's supporting you while he's denouncing you as a crazed lunatic drug addict and trying to sabotage anybody else's efforts to actually raise money with that book.
Well, I mean, this is, a scene out of the movie Mars Invades, where the Martians are running around with their bullhorns, announcing to everyone around them, "We are your friends," and why they're announcing that, they're incinerating every human in sight with their ray guns. So it's basically a perfect metaphor for what is going on right now.
Ray Savant guns,
right?
Or the Ray Techzombie. So, last night you had a post put into the forum under your username T-Rex in the Eric Dollard thread at energeticforum.com. And if anybody wants to read that, that's Eric's, most recent personal say-so in the forum. So I would encourage everybody to go read that and, consider what's in this audio. I'm not here manipulating Eric. We're 1,000-something miles away on a recorded conference call over the phone across the country, and this will be made available in a YouTube video. And what I'm going to do is I'll put photographs, screenshots of the takedown notices, exactly what went out to remove the material and all that kind of stuff. People can come to their own conclusions, but definitely everybody go read post number 161 at energeticforum.com in the Savant Techzombie exposed thread, and you're going to see exactly why he's making it look like I'm the one that took his site down when he is trying to cover up some very damaging material that will expose him and show that everything Eric and I have been saying about him is 100% absolutely true. So with that, I guess, I don't know, it's a wrap unless you have any final messages to anybody who's following Ray and believing what he's saying. Or
well, I mean, if people want to believe that, then there's something wrong with their head. So what can I say? I mean, the bottom line is, if I'm caught into an internet quagmire of nutcases and whatever, I'm just going to have to pull the plug. And then there just won't be any of it at all. It's I trusted this guy to he ended up getting a lot of video material, of me just hanging out in my environment, and and we're drinking beer and talking and doing all kinds of stuff, and he's saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and I'm saying all kinds of crazy stuff, as the sun's going down, and now this guy has all this material, and he's editing it out to make defamatory videos about me. You might say I'm a little more than upset.
Right. Yeah, he's taking a couple of short little clips, and he's like looping them over and over, to make it, completely take it out of context, and he's editing it creatively to cut all his own involvement and stuff out to make it look like you're the bad guy and he's like the hero.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of, I think even the person with the least perception on Earth should be able to understand that this might be quite upsetting to me, and actually I would like to see Ray Savant married to a 115 kilovolt power line, to tell you the truth.
Right.
Hopefully one lands on his head or something. I mean, what's this guy going to do next, and how am I going to stop him?
Right. Well, the liability that he has incurred on all this, and stupid enough to do it all public and try to cover his tracks, but I caught him on everything. He's in more trouble than he can imagine, and he's
then we should just basically, then sign off at that point and let nature take its course.
Okay. All right, Eric. Well, I guess we'll sign off here, and I'll give you a number where you can just dial in and you can listen to it yourself.
Okay. Well, and actually, this stuff has got me so intimidated. I just want to hide from it. So. I don't want to get any more involved in this, and right now I'm trying to finish this book that that I formulated out of this talk at the convention, and this negativity is not helping any of it.
Right.
It's making me sick.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it's intended to do, and I'm having to fight it off. So basically, I'm going to hang up here, and I'm going to go try to hide from all this and pretend it's not happening. It's the best I can do.
Well, I'll keep you posted on what's going on.
Okay, thank you.
So, okay, take care.
Okay, bye.
Okay, yeah, bye.